Hi, I'm Laura the Library Lady, and today we're going to talk about a poetry book by Joan Graham, and she did all the poems, and the illustrator is Steve Scott. It's entitled Splish Splash. Please know that you can get this book at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, but my favorite choice, you got it, your public library. This is a wonderful book. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Steve, for such a great book. Let's jump right in. I love the title page because it has a big fat umbrella. And there are people like my mom who love umbrellas. We must have 30 between the house and the car. Umbrellas everywhere. And we are very protective of our umbrellas. So here we go. This entire book is all about water. So the very first poem I'm going to share with you is called Water. Water is a magic potion. It can fill a glass, an ocean. Raging river, tiny tear, drops of dew that disappear. Water often spells surprises with its changing forms and sizes. Rain and snow, ponds and brooks, water has so many looks. Sounds and moods and colors, yet in every shape, it's always wet. Wonderful poem by Joan Graham. So what we have here are different descriptions and forms of water. So even though this is a poem and it's rhyming, it's talking about science. That's what I love so much about books and writing. You can write about anything. So you can read this poem with your child. You can talk about water, steam. They're all forms of water. And when you talk to your children about that, that's reinforcing what they're learning in school. And you could do some experiments. I remember I did a science experiment and it was all about water. Can I remember every detail at this point? No, sorry, but I know I got an honorable mention. So science fairs, I don't know if they do that anymore in elementary school, but this book could be a part of science fair. All right, I want to go out for a short walk before the end of the day, but it keeps raining on and off. And they say in Maryland, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes, it will change. Now, one of the things that you have to know about poetry, there's different formats. We have the freestyle, you have the sonnets, and so this next poem I'm going to read is called Rain. Now, remember when you were little, you may have sung that song, Rain, rain, go away, come back another day? Well, that's another poem just turned into a song. So this is called Rain. Rain. Rain has washed the world today. The green's a greener green. The under and the outerwear and all that's in between is inside, outside, clean. So I guess it's really clean where I live because it's been raining on and off for the last 15 minutes. But I'm determined to go out, even if I have to go out with my umbrella. I could just choose one and be very fashionable. Also, when you're doing poetry, you can make up your own words. And young children will do what they call invented spelling, where they when they start writing, they will spell a word how it sounds. It's based on phonics. This one is called Crocodile Tears. Crocodile tears. Oh, crocodile, poor crocodilio, cried so hard you soaked your pillow. Kept it up for such a while, that's how we got the river Nile. Very short poem. I think there's less than 20 words. But what are we talking about? We're talking about crocodiles. We're talking about the river Nile, which is a natural body of water. We could talk about Egypt. We could talk about Africa. We could talk about the Middle East. Egypt is going through a lot right now, this summer 2013. So there's so much in this one short poem that you can just expand on with your child and talk about. And you might be looking at me going, okay, Laura, the library lady, are you crazy? Yeah, I am. Because what you do with your child, how you use words, and how you expand on it has a huge impact on how your child performs in school. And the reason I'm making these videos is because I want to do what I can to help parents help their children. Because I'm the person who proctors the standardized tests, and I see high school students struggling. And I see them when they don't succeed the way they need to, and the heartbreak. So we can avoid all that by reading. Well, one of the ways we can do it. Reading doesn't solve every problem, but it sure can solve many problems, especially within the academic arena. All right. She has poems about snow, ponds, steam, lake, pool, and these are all great things because depending on where you live, you may not have all these bodies of water near you. The last poem I'm going to read is Waterfall. It's a very interesting poem, and the illustrator did a great job because he just illustrates in so many different ways. This is called Waterfall. Waterfall. A waterfall is very tall. It starts out at the top. It falls and falls and falls and falls until it has to stop. And then it does a kind of hip, a crash, a smash, and a giant splash. That's Waterfall. Who says you have to read? You can read a poem in so many different ways. Show your passion. Express yourself. Have your child do that. Because when it's time to present in school, your child's not afraid to stand up in front of a group of kids and their teacher and deliver that speech or give that presentation. They won't be afraid when they're going for that job to interview or when they're going for that scholarship. You want your child to be comfortable in their own expression and know when and how to express themselves, to understand the situation and what is appropriate and what's not appropriate. And that just takes time and practice. This is a really fun poem, and I stopped because if you look at the font, stop is in a different color and it's bigger, and hip and crash and smash are all in a bigger font. So I made those words bigger, and splash, splash. Oops, sorry, spit a little bit, just like a Shakespearean actor. But splash, well, that's water just coming out of us, and we're a high concentration of water. So make sure you just expand on what your kids read. When you read with your child, just don't read and move on. There's two things you want to be very aware of. Their fluency, meaning how fast they read and how comfortable they read, and their comprehension. Some kids can read every word on the page, have no comprehension. Other kids struggle, but they understand. So when you read with your child, take the time, stop, and talk about what you're reading. And maybe, just maybe, you should go out and visit a waterfall or make one of your very own. All right, I think the rain has slowed down. I'm going to go out for my walk. Have a great day and keep reading. And don't forget, you can get this in your local library, along with all kinds of wonderful books.